Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Wow. All right. So what's up? How many people? Two. Jeff Mella. What's up? The other two people. What's up? Yeah. Little late. Running a little bit late. Man. Man. Oh man. What a what a day. What a night. And I got to be up at 7 o'clock to go to a doctor's. All right. Well, let me see if I can get a few more people in here, or not, or we can just cancel and do it again tomorrow. Let's see. May Swan, what's up? Let me get Nick Hewlett. Much love from the UK. Thanks, Nick. How you doing? So, okay. Let me see. I had my mind changed on joint. I thought I was okay. Like your mom Monday. Um, I did that video yesterday about the kid. I call him a kid. About Tin Man, and some people left a comment in the comment section. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see. And that's what started this whole thing, actually. So one person already put. Okay, so I was just going to come on here and talk about race in prison, and what I mean by that is, well, the perfect example is I gave in the short, and actually I didn't say it correctly either. So Bernard Madoff, Ponzi schemer extraordinaire, goes to federal prison, and he's there a couple months. And one day he walks up to me and he says, "Rob, I did not know that I was a racist until I came to federal prison." Um, Now, I think the word racist, like the word um, white supremacy gang, is overused. I think prejudiced is more of a appropriate term, to be honest, because I think everybody shows prejudice in some form of fashion um, when we're talking about racial issues. Most. I mean, it's changing a lot nowadays, but anyway. So, excuse me. One of the people in the comment section wrote that Tin Man, this this guy Tin Man I talked about yesterday, who's the shot caller, founder of a prison gang called SAC. He was in a multicultural gang, and then he goes to prison, and he has that awakening, so to speak. I really, really, really would like to know what changed that. Why all of a sudden he was in a multicultural gang, and then he turned into like a um well, he got indoctrinated in white literature, good, bad, or indifferent, doesn't matter. That's what happened. And over and over again in prison, it doesn't matter what color, black, white, um, brown, the Asian. I'm thinking of everybody, okay? I can still, you can still kind of get away with talking freely like that. For a while, we didn't. And then Trump came into office. And when the Democrats get back into office, oh my God, it's over. It's over. We'll never be able to talk about race, anything ever again. Um, but seriously, so what happens is, how many people are here? So only a few. What happens is people go to prison. A lot of people go to prison, and all of a sudden they start identifying with their race, with their culture. Hispanics do the a lot of the Mexican guys that I know. Um, they get all Azteced out. Well, that's a, I mean, they start researching their history. The Aztecas, whites, a lot of whites all of a sudden will think that Germans were the greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, it's true. It's true. It's weird how that shit happens. And I will say that I was never around growing up. I grew up in an area that was white and Hispanic. So I was not around African Americans, blacks until I went to jail. That was my first time being around. Came home with a friend. He was a member of the PBGs, which is Playboy Gangster, and um, sold dope to him for a minute. But anyway, so many guys that I know, white guys that I know, go to prison, and all of a sudden they get they start seeing. I'm trying to watch. They start seeing certain things about other races, and then they start on that going down the road of I guess researching history. You can say that there's some truth to that. That's what it seems like everybody across the board does. They start searching their history, and you know, history is written by the victors. Is that what they say? You never really, I mean, when it comes to history, I don't care what it is, racial issues or whatever. I mean, you can find something you're looking for if you're really trying. Doesn't matter who you are. Perfect example is when you talk about the Mid Atlantic slave trade in prison, especially in prison. Um, a lot of my friends that are black would talk about it being the worst kind of slavery in history. Blah blah blah. Well, I can find something that shows that there was far more people enslaved by Africans. You know what I mean? Watch what I always say this, but you can always find what you're looking for, and it doesn't matter if it's true or not. You know what I mean? I guess that's really anything in life, especially in the South. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Uh, Much left in the UK. Thanks. Pawns to prizes because everyone learns the truth in time. Tin Man accepted it. Um, Listen, that's cool. I just everybody be respectful. That's fine. Okay. But I don't know if you know who Tin Man is. Like actually do. That's what I was kind of looking for, especially in the South. Randy Savage. You know you you get it. Um. So this is what I this is what I tell my black friends. Okay. And yeah, for sure, right now I am watching it, and listen, I'll speak my mind. There's YouTube to think about. You can come off wrong, which I have an audience that does have people across the board, mostly people from New York, mostly Italian, but whatever. But you know, I don't just want to come off and start piping shit out that's that's too offensive to talk about. And I'm not just talking about just what whites think about black or whites think about browns. I'm talking about it all. Um, I had some people call me DC in my comment section, DC sympathizer, because when I was talking about the DC blacks, I kind of gave them some props on some things, and I didn't talk about the fact that there was a lot of them that that are gunners. And some guys like were in my comment section really like, you're being too soft about it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, no, I actually said it, but I just didn't put it in the way that they would have liked me to. You know what I mean? I mean, I even talked to, I think Eon, the guy that runs the channel, DC Blacks, even commented about it somehow. Anyway, um, you said something, Ponda prizes, and I'm not sure. I get it. You responded to something I said, but you said in time, Tim Man accepts the truth. And you know what? The deal is okay. Let's do this. This is a good way to. This is a really good way to do this. Okay, Matt Hale. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Matt Hale. Matt Hale, what he started a church. He's a white separatist. I would think you would say not supremacist. He's a white separatist. Met him when I was locked up. Super high IQ, intelligent guy. He was actually on. I think it was Geraldo. Um, I think he debated Jesse Jackson. He was a lawyer. He got his bar taken away for being a racist. Okay, his license taken away for racial issues. Um, he was really, really big about the Germans. So this is kind of off topic. Matt Hale, if you guys do not know who he is and somebody looks him up, the way he started on his racial awakening, as I think he would say, is that when he was a kid, he was kind of a nerdy kid, and he went to the store. I forgot he was able to buy a book for some reason. I don't know if he did something good or whatever, but he picked out like the biggest, thickest book, and it was Mein Kampf. And he just like boom, that's where he started. Now he would really get into the stuff about Germans. Let me tell you my feelings about Germany and the Nazis and that whole thing. I never cared. Okay, meaning a lot of white guys in prison would start doing getting swazis and stuff, um, talking a lot of stuff that they didn't know about for real. Anyway, and I would always say the same thing: the Germans lost, and would just crush them. But I did it to antagonize. I did it, just to fuck with them. And I never really thought too much about the Germans and the Nazis. Really, I mean, I knew about them from history, from school and stuff, but I never really looked and cared. It was not until I was friends with this black dude, um, and he was a black Hebrew. Ike, what the hell is Ike's last name? But he was just all Germaned out. This dude was so into Nazis, Hitler, loved them. I mean, thought just loved him. And he was the one that started talking about the advancement on society that the Germans did. Okay. So he's the one that first started making me look at things from a different view. Now I'm off topic because that has nothing to do with really race in prison, like I was talking about. This is a kind of a personal thing. Um, oh, I know how I did it. I was talking about Hale. So Hale, that's what I used to do with him a lot. So we'd have conversations. He was a really fascinating guy to talk to. Um, and he would be talking. He didn't believe that the Jew. He didn't believe the um, how many Jews were killed. He didn't believe about all the cremations. Very few. Very few. The argument that a lot of white guys will say. So I would always say that. Yeah, the Germans lost. Like the end of the day, the Germans lost. You know what I mean? And that would get him. That would really set him off. And start going into how it took the white man, another white man, the United States white government to go take another white race out. Yeah, I was just laughing to myself thinking about that right now. Um, let me see. Let me see if I can get a comment to feed off of real quick. I'm starting to think, what's up, Randy Savage? Second to the King James Bible. Okay, here we go. Uh, there we go. I go. Hi, Rob, listening from Cali, Brooklyn. Randy Savage. How did you escape their wrath? Which ones, Randy? I'm not sure what I said. You can say it. I know who Matt Hale is, and Mein Kampf is the second best-selling book of all times. Is it really? Like actually the second best seller? I believe that's what you're saying. Okay. Wow. Black Hebrew Israelites think that they're the true Jews. Their ideology is crazy. So, Boots and Hose, what's up? Oh, Randy Savage, the Nazis. Oh, how did? Oh, wait a minute. How did you escape their ass, the Nazis? Uh, so here's another thing. And I'm bouncing. I always bounce around, but here's another thing. They always talk about guys in prison. I'm sorry, about prison gangs and white supremacy and stuff like that. I mentioned it in my video. I don't know any gang that their members actually like they go talk about it like at church meetings. They go practice it. Um, I know that guys will get some literature for a while, um, but that ends up being about it. There's some that are hardcore. I had a brother, Scott Tolley. This dude, he was friends with David Lane. Um, he was about it. He was a dirty white boy. He joined when he was like 42. Um, but he really knew that history. he would be somebody that I would actually consider, uh, well, separatist, he would consider himself all that for real. Um, but in general, when you get these people that like that label like the Southern Poverty Law Center, and I mentioned this before, just you can go look at it. I was reading cases earlier today, and there was a case where these two sack dudes killed another one, and I just had the copies of it. Well, it says in all that these guys are members of a white supremacy gang. This is in court documents, and they like no lawyers argue it. I think some of them kind of wear it proud, and uh, and it's really misleading to the public. It really it really misrepresents a lot of how what gangs are about and stuff like that. It does. It does. That's I mean, like I've said, Aryan Resistance Militia. They weren't supposed to get high, da 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 da, do this, sack, same kind of thing. Don't talk to others, meaning anybody that's not white. I've seen them do both. You know what I mean? So anyway, it's misleading. It's misleading for sure. Okay, let's see something. How did you escape the wrath? So how did I escape the wrath as far as that? Yeah, I used to get in a lot of shit about so the guys that I'd fuck with and say the Germans lost. Yeah, okay, Randy. Yeah, I mean, they'd get mad. It wasn't like I would sit there and like we were fighting about it. It would be more of me trying to get under their skin. One time it was. It sold 4 million copies. No shit. It's been a best-selling list since the 1930s. You know what? I've never read it. I've never read it all the way through, and it's because I was in the shoe when I had it. I started reading it, and we got transferred, or maybe I got out. I think I got out of the whole. I think it was like an early kick out or something. Um, but I've never read the whole thing. Probably should, just because. I've read Mandela, Gandhi. I mean, Martin Luther King. Yeah, I actually have. Uh, Pancho Villa. I think I had. Was it? I forgot one of. I forgot which Hispanic it was. Yeah, I did. All right. So anyway, so here's what I'll say. I'll go ahead and kick this off. So what I notice about black dudes in prison, I wish Mike Miller. I should have called Mike Miller tonight. Damn. I honest to God, I just had. It's it doesn't matter. And then I went outside and I started trying to clean these lots off. The city, what the city's doing down here is they're finding people. I've got two lots that are overgrown and water runs down the hill, so it stays like wet. It's like not wet 1 month out of the year, like August. So I've been trying to get in there and get that knocked down and stuff like that, man. And it's just I'm full, just getting eaten up by ticks this year, on and on and on. And then I was gonna do a video at like 5 something, and then some come up. Then I made dinner and blah blah blah, and I got to be up on like 6, no 7 to go to a cardiologist. But anyway, I'm just rambling on. Rambling. Okay, so here's what I was gonna say. One of the things about black dudes in prison, and I've said this before, is in their culture, there's a lot of posturing when they're talking and communicating. Black friends, uh, you can add something to help me out here. If there's not too many people in the chat, but a lot of white guys or say black dudes are loud. Da da da. This is true. However, gotta be real here. Um, Italians are just as loud, just as loud as black dudes. And I think this comes from having big families or not being heard or being in the city. So everybody's screaming at each other, including my mom's family when I was growing up. So I'm from my mom's side is a big family, and it was just like the noise. That's what a lot of times prison. Well, that's kind of weird. Prison reminds me of my family. I was going to say family gatherings, um, real loud, but anyway. So there's a lot of physical when they're talking and communicating and stuff like that. There's a lot of physical posturing, you know, and I would say that because it always seems like, and a lot of times when they're fighting or when they're arguing that there's going to be a fight. It took me a while of being around a bunch of black dudes to understood that that was like that's was like a communication form. I know that sounds fucking terrible. But it's true. It did because I swear to God, like I went to LA County Jail, right? I don't know if you guys know anything about the LA County jail system. That's the first time. That's what I got to do the video. I even have that written down. LA County Jail. The first time there's a place called the 9500 block. Jesus Christ. I don't know what the jail's like now, but it was the top of the jail. There's movies. They've had it in movies and stuff before, and it's just this open area. Just oh my God. And well, if you're white, you got to make sure you keep your shoes on at night and keep your money in your socks, or you can get it taken from you when you're sleeping. That's how it was back then. But it was just super, super crowded. But it took me a while to realize that the black dudes weren't gonna fight constantly. I swear to God. I swear to God it did. It did. And I even said something to C Love. That was not C Love. What was that dude's name? He was a PBG. He got killed. Um, damn man. Yet anyway, I met this dude when I was in jail, and I started selling dope to him when he got out. And one night, I lived next door to a sheriff station. They actually had a warrant for me for going back for probation violation for 4 years, and I lived on top of the sheriff station. Here's the sheriff station. Here's me next door. I'm doing a sidebar story, guys, just in case. So I've started this. He's getting like 9 ounces, half keys from me or whatever. And one night he came over like at 12 o'clock on a weekend with 5 dudes in the car in a Mustang convertible. And on the hood of the convertible was a emblem, a picture of a blood smoking a crack pipe. He's a Crip with some damn rap music with music booming. That's when I cut him off. That was when I cut him off. You know, going to a what was that in Redondo? No, I was in Lamita. I was going to say going to a surfer city, surfer town. It wasn't. It was like attention. You know what I mean? Freaked me the fuck out. I remember. I'll never forget it. I was hired in a kite too. I had friends in the house. We've been whiffing blow, playing darts, all stuck, couldn't talk to each other. And here comes this. I hear like a block away, you know, like just bumping, thumping, and this dude pulls up right in front of my house. Yeah, it was crazy. Anyway, yeah, I got off of that one. Two. Okay, ticks. Oh my God, I can show you. No, you don't want to see it. Okay, hold on. I'll tell you something about a tick in a second. Boots and Hose. What's up? The Nazis. You said Germans also one at a time. It's been a best-selling book. Okay, Randy. After the war, every home in America had a copy because everyone wanted to read about the dictator who. I got you. Okay, Randy. Tons of ticks this year. Randy, you're okay. So you live here, right, Randy? I got. You're from Arkansas, I think. Chickens disseminate ticks. Yes. Okay. I This is the worst year since I was a kid. When I was a kid and came back here in the summer, I'd just get eaten up. I have that blood. I have that, probably the sugar I ate, whatever. I just got that blood where bugs attack me. Um, Ticks fucking love me. And I would go home from Arkansas and I would just be full of ticks when I go home. It's no bullshit. And I'm talking about from a little kid up. Then I moved back when I was 22 back here, 23. There was a bad season. I used to fish a lot back then. Been fishing here a couple times lately. Um, this year, just going out weed eating. Oh my, I'm getting hit. And you know, my dumb ass wears shorts. So I still got that California thing where I wear shorts everywhere. Still do. Okay. Winter, all the time. I gotta stop because and these things are embedding in me for real. You know, I'm taking bleach baths right now constantly. So if you take and putting too much bleach in the water, as a matter of fact, I was washing my face. Took a bath right before I came on, and I was getting fresh water, but I got some of the bath water where I poured the bleach and got like all my face. right here. I forgot how much bleach. I actually put like too much bleach in it, but it does kill them. They usually let go. Um, but I've got a couple spots in my legs. I'm not going to lift my leg up. I got like a sore. It's like that big from a tick grabbing on, not letting go, and I had to pull it out. Yeah, I know about Lyme disease. I know. I get it. Um, Chicken cinnamon. Salute to the Tin Man in Utah. Right on. Red Rider BB gun. One chicken can eat 30 ticks a minute. Hi, Rob. This is Tyler Bingham. I'm using a. You stupid. What? Okay, Randy, Pennsylvania. I had tons of. Okay. And chiggers. Oof. Yeah. I you said so he put I ripped them out. Oh, I could have be posting this stuff. Actually, no, because I gotta I've got to get raise my chair better because the thing always comes across the screen and blocks my face halfway. But and chiggers. A lot of chiggers this year too. And they're like, I don't know if you guys know what they are. They are microscopic little mites. Can't even see them. You can see them when they get under your skin. But yeah, so I've been out in the yard lately a lot. It's different. It's different. I'll say that. Meaning different than when I was jacked up and used to go out there and just fucking rip and roar. It's different. Um, and I said something the other day about doing yard work now and doing yard work back before I got locked up. And the difference is I used to like cut myself. I'd have my whole hands, not everything would be cut up because I didn't feel it. I was just going. And I'll be damned if I didn't start cutting myself here the other day again. But I stopped now because I feel it, because I feel the pain. Jesus Christ. And I'm itching like frick right now. Oh man. Anyway. So yeah, damn it. I blew chunks, you guys. I could have had Mike Miller on here, and this would have been the best conversation ever. Because he was a white guy that was part of Latin folk. I forgot. I forgot. But he was able to navigate running in prison in both circles, black and white, and live with the black dude, Jamaican, whatever, Cadillac. But yeah, he got that one off. He got that one off. And that's so he was around a lot of black dudes a lot, and that he would have been perfect for this conversation. Perfect. I was gonna do a video about this. Matter of fact, I had bulletin points outlined. I should have brought that now. But the truth is, like I pushed this back. It was gonna be 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Then I thought somebody was gonna leave a little bit early. Okay, here we go. Rob, if you get a red bullseye around a tick bite, get checked. It's usually the first sign of Lyme disease. So the truth, Rob, is that I got one and I had to get matches for it. I've tried everything. And it looked like I've got like a lot of little freckles and moles and stuff like that. This fucking thing latched on so much. That's where my man, it's it's like that big. Had to rip my skin to get it undone. It did have a red mark around it. It did have a red ring. I just took it out. Took the whole thing out. So yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. Whatever. Whatever. We got Lyme disease, cancer trying to get me, this trying to get me. Got a heart deal tomorrow. No, I'm good. Anyway, so how you been, Rob? Tons of ticks. Listening from Long Beach, Big John. Okay, right on. I have not been to California since 1997. That should have been priority number one for me when I got out. Um, who knows if it would have changed anything? I'm not sure. I always used to sit around in prison. One of the things I used to dream about was if I got out, because I had life without parole, that I had to go back and retrace my steps, so to speak, growing up. I don't know. Maybe it sounds goofy now to some people, whatever. But I did grow up going to church every Sunday. I did go to Catholic school for 8 years. Um, all kinds of family baptisms, funerals, everything happened in one certain church. So I always wanted to go back home to San Pedro and go to that church and like kind of find myself, so to speak, in not necessarily in a religious sense or a spiritual sense. The truth is, the whole time I was locked up, I'm not going to say atheist because that's not true, but definitely agnostic. Definitely never said a prayer the whole time I was locked up. Stopped saying a prayer the day I got a life sentence. That's the truth. Um, but I just always felt like I wanted to go back, and I do believe that and I had a couple chances to, and it's kind of those things now you wonder what if, da da da, but probably nothing. What if? Would that have changed the course of my life at the time? Blah blah blah. But then again, and my another chapter starting, so whatever. We'll see. Whatever. Been to San Pedro thousands of times. So little tiny deer ticks are the worst. Yes. So there is the little tiny ones, but these are, to be honest, I think this thing was on me for a second and I was missing it. And because this tick was fat and it was embedded. It was embedded. Um, the wharf, Fisherman's Wharf. I didn't even know they took it down. I don't know how many years ago they did. Portugal Village is what I was trying to say. So I grew up right when you come into town off the freeway. That's Grand, yeah, duh, that's Grand Avenue. That's not Grand Gaffey. That's Gaffey. I lived on 15th and Grand, which is a street below. That's where I grew up. Went to Mary Star, and then San Pedro High School. Then I got kicked out of San Pedro, and they sent me to Carson. The Samoans ran me out of Carson. They did literally um, over a girl. Over a girl. I kissed somebody's girlfriend. I didn't know she was like the quarterback's girlfriend. You know, these dudes chased me. I jumped over the fence. You guys, okay? People always say, "Why don't you tell a story about you did this or that, Rob?" And I'm like, "I did." I'm talking about haters on YouTube. Okay, there you go, you haters. I jumped the chain link fence and never looked back at Carson High School. Literally. Ah, yeah, yeah, it's true. Never went back. Damn, man. Yep. And then I went to Angels Gate, loser school after that. Gaffey Street is where we got off the St. Thomas Bridge to the Sunken City. Okay, so I grew up surfing Cabrillo, all Sunken City. Yeah, 15th is about a mile down the road. 15th and Grand. Anyway. Yeah, Sunken City. Jesus Christ. Used to surf there. Cabrillo. Not so much Palms, but whatever. Anyway. What else was I gonna, what can I was thinking about Gaffrey's Treasure we got off. All ticks are terrible. Pigs. Do you remember Bushwhack? When I met him, he was a Latin king. Then when Bomba ruled, oh, blacks. Wait a minute. I remember Bushwhack well, Rob. Okay, so me and this guy did time together, like 5 years. So yes, I remember Bushwhack. When I met him, he was a Latin king. Then when Bomba ruled no blacks could be Latin kings, I never knew that part. Okay. Then he became a blood. Then a few years he was a Muslim. Uh yeah, I remember him being I remember yeah, because he had the cell that they all prayed in, because he had the big cell. So I remember that. Who did I talk to? I ran into somebody that told me he was doing good in or like Miami, I think it was, or something. I don't know. That's been a long time. That's been a long time. Yeah, Bushwhack. Old Bushwhack. Okay, Figs. It was chicken. So there was two big chickens. So I've told people this before. There's in this town, there's a food drop every Tuesdays and Thursdays. Last Thursday, they dropped off ice cream. And I missed it. The first year I got out of prison, when they did a food drop on a Thursday, I had a 2000 Nissan. Was it a Nissan? Frontier. The whole entire back I filled with ice cream. That's how much ice cream that's how much stuff they drop down here. Okay. An entire truck filled up my sister's house, my mom's house, I think it was. And then I had like 2 deep freezes. And we had so much ice cream down here. They just did a Ben and Jerry's, a bunch of Ben and Jerry's. Actually, it was Thursday, I heard. But today they dropped off chickens. Like people came home with like 30 chickens each. No, I'm telling you, I should probably go take a video of that food drop. Last time I did, and I got them, the whole town threw a shit fit when I did a video of this town. I had people knocking on my door. Why are you taking pictures? Oh, no. But yeah, there was a lot. So there's a lot of chicken today. So I got a couple extra chickens. Potatoes, but you asked a question. So I made somebody else a chicken too. I got one, and then I made potatoes, like real potatoes, and I mashed them up, and corn, and what was the greens? Salad. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's what I did. Okay. Thank you for asking this. Okay, how was your dinner? Thanks for asking about the dinner fix. Justin, hey Rob, what's your opinion on Brian Koberger? Do you think he'll survive prison? Awesome sounded, bro. Oh, awesome sound about the dinner. Kind of threw me off. Okay, Brian Koberger. So I did a video, I think about it. I kind of weighed in on it. So I said that I believe what I said was that I think some UFO might get him, meaning some random dude, maybe that nobody would even expect might, and I'm not saying unalive him. I don't think. But I have watched a lot about this. Okay. So this is what I want to say. There's a guy, he's a YouTuber, very, very popular channel. Okay. That said he believed that the Aryan Knights were going to pull him to make him, that they're going to want him. And I'm sitting there, and I swear that's just one of the things that I heard that was totally and utterly ridiculous. There was three other prison channels that said stuff. And for a moment, I probably wasted one day, no bullshit, 5 hours of taking clips of all these different dudes, these prison channels. And I swear to you, I was going to be respectful as I sat there and really, no bullshit. And then I'm like, man, it's just gonna, like, I'm gonna become the anti-mob, anti-AB. I'm just gonna anti-prison channel, and I'm like, fuck, you know. And really, like, I had to like go from these guys are ridiculous to wait a minute, okay, I can put this in a kind way, going back and forth. Now there is a prison consultant that I'm probably going to do something about. Larry Levine or whatever. I've got his number down, and I've got probably 10 clips of him where he's wrong each and every time. But there's more to it. When I was in Butner, when Bernie Madoff arrived, I'm watching this guy talk about what Bernie's experience is going to be like in Butner, as I watched Bernie Madoff walk into Butner with a smile on his face that I have never in my life seen a prisoner smile. He was like cheesing when he walked in. No bullshit. With a bunch of people, including staff, like following him to the laundry. And then staff arguing over who's going to put him on their work crew because they wanted stock tips. And this guy's saying on TV, I'm watching this. This is actually, Bernie came in. I hadn't talked to him yet. I was in the law library. I watched this happen. Me and this dude named Abdul Rashid Muhammad. I did a story about this, by the way. We watched Bernie, and I'm just like, look at this dude, man. He's like, I'm walking in prison 150 years. Yay. You know? And I go back. Actually, I got off at 3:00, and from 3 to 4, we watched CNN. Me and Carmine Persico. We watched CNN from 3 to 4. Okay. It was during that time when that jackass Mark Levin was on talking about, I was at Butner. Now they call it the Camp Snoop, but I've seen somebody get stabbed in the theater. And I'm like, no, you did not. No, you didn't. You're lying. And he was saying how none of the guards are going to want, how he was never going to be put in an open dorm. They put him right in an open dorm, like the only open dorm, 50 people. How the inmates were going to ostracize him. People were begging for his autograph and photos. And it was like everything he said was wrong, and in a bunch of other cases. So I'm probably going to do that because I've already got too much time invested in it. But I pulled back from the other prison channel things because that's not that wasn't my intent. But then I can get like, it depends on which one of me wakes up. I say that often, but it's true. Which Robert wakes up today? But Kohlberg, what do I think? I think that okay, so I believe that the Aryan Knights definitely are not going to pull him. He killed white girls, right? And was the guy white too? So the check off, forget that. I don't think there was a guy, what channel was it? He's actually did 25 years in Idaho. He sounded like a solid good dude for real. And he was saying that he's going to be on the rung just above a child molester. If they put him in PC and he keeps in PC, he can kind of still be God, he said. But I just don't think I don't think it's going to be like that for him. I think if there could be some random UFO guy, normal, whatever, that can do something, but I don't think they're going to. I just don't. Plus, I think that he's. I don't know if I haven't saw any reports about him, so maybe some stuff has come out. I have not since. Did they moved him that day? Is that what it was? Whatever. I think that's what it was. So it's been like since last week, since middle of last week, I think it was, since I haven't heard anything about him. Um, they're gonna PC him up for a little while, I think, and they're gonna figure it out. That guy who did time in that prison, Ryan, I think his name was Ryan something, did 25 years for second degree murder, went down when he was 19 years old. And he said that in that prison, and he said this really good, in that prison, there's a unit or two that's like rough. This is a max too. But that was a good point, because what happens when guys that have been to prison, a lot of times they screw up because they lump like all prisons are the same, or like all units are the same. So my thing is, every prison's different. Every like one that's off the hook has its day. Leavenworth was like for the worst of the worst. Big Sandy had its moment. Every prison has its moment. Even though the culture inside the feds, inside the penitentiaries and the feds are a lot of the same, still every prison has its little different things about them. You have like the so-called honor units. You have it. It doesn't matter. It's who's ever in those units will dictate how those units are going to be. Whether it's going to be soft, rough, whether people are just looking for drama to pick on any little thing, or go out of their way not to get everybody locked down or whatever. You know what I mean? And that guy really did. He was one of, I don't. He doesn't have a channel, but he really explained some stuff good about that prison. So, and he wasn't saying this is going to happen, this is going to happen, or this is going to happen. He said that he didn't see. I think it was the area. He didn't really see them going like way out of their way to do something. But it's at that, just the unexpected moment kind of thing. But we'll see. And who was saying it? Oh, that one guy. And I'm not going to say his name because, like I said, he's got a hell of a channel. But there's so much. It's like, what the fuck? He said that because he was well versed in knives and stabbing, that's what would attract the gang members, and that he had done 10 years in prison, so he knows all about it. And I'm like, I'm not one of those dudes that likes to pull the trump card. Trump card meaning, oh, you did 10 years. Yeah, I did 25 in one stretch. Then I did it. Got 30 years of my life in prison. Means I'm a dumbass. Means I'm a fucking idiot. So I don't do the pull rank thing. But it was crazy to me that this dude did 10 years. And like, maybe I don't know where he did his time though. Well, I know this. Like I said, I'm not gonna. I'm not. I'm not trying to. Is that the way? Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay. When you open your open to show what were you cooking? Okay, I got you. Okay, so Rob, yeah, it was chicken. Those were two chickens in there. And like I said, then I did mashed potatoes, uh, corn, which I kind of threw a little stuff around, and and I baked a cake. Now, um, the moonshine. I will tell you again from the food drop off. And for you guys that might not have heard this before about this food drop off, I talk. It comes from Walmart, and there's like a lot of stuff. Okay. So I mean it's truckloads, all right? And people come down, and I'm not talking poor people. I'm not talking this is for the needy. This is for whoever comes and gets it. People come from Oklahoma, from actually one of the counties below the Flora County, which is right next to me. People come from a lot of places for this food drop. So I got a bunch of extra fruit and stuff last week, and it was literally like this. I'm like, okay, how many freaking kiwis can I eat? I've got 2 boxes of kiwis. Okay. And then there were strawberries, blackberry. There was all this different stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to eat healthier. Yeah, I do good for a week or two, then I'm just sugared out, whatever. So, and then I look and there's literally a bag of sugar right there. And I'm like, pooch. Now, people commented, is that the best thing for me to do? Alcoholic addict, da 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 da. I will say that there was not even a little bit of an urge, and I tasted it. I finger dipped it. That's kind of see how I did that. Anyway, and so it was an issue. And I will say this: I really, really, really was thinking about getting steel. Um, they sell them at Walmart. There's like a one that's like back. It can do everything I want, which is double cook. So I want to distill twice. Okay. It was a lot easier. I was going to do the process and videotape it. I've been getting tagged. YouTube's been tagging me on a lot of stuff, so I'm not getting monetized for a lot of stuff. So I just to put the camera up and have to deal with all that. It was a pain in the ass. It was a lot easier in a prison cell with 2 people. Uh, I pulled off of yeah 5 gallons, so I got 4 pints. Uh, double did it. Pain, pain in the ass. And you know what I did? I froze 2 quarts and let that alcohol come to the top. Um, but I heard you can get sick that way. I don't know. I don't know. Um, so I really, really was considering. I swear I was considering start cooking China. I can talk about it now because I didn't, but I really came close to like I'm gonna crank this up because I'm telling you I can get rid of as much as I can make. Okay, I'm just gonna say that I really could. And yes, I know it's legal, and yes, I illegal, but I'm telling you, I'm not. Um, but there was a minute there, like my brain's ticking, tick, 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 tick. To tell you the truth, bad energy, bad energy, and I really, I, I really believe the Native Americans have it right. Very simple. Breaks down everything about rehab, rehabilitation. You got a good wolf and a bad wolf, like the angel and devil. Which one are you going to feed? That simple. I'm not saying that I've got it right all the time. I have said already to people, the month of June, it's a lot of shit happened in June to me, good, bad, and different, needed to happen. 100 profound needed to happen. 100%. Um, but yeah, so I had enough wits about me, whatever. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's just there was a point to where to me it was like bad energy. That's the truth. That's kind of what happened with that. So Rob kind of said that. Okay, Oven Madoff got what he deserved. Taco Bowman also died at Butner. He died in the hospital fourth floor. I said this. Did Doc Kim get out? Black guy first. Hold on. Doc Kim. Black guy first floor. F block. Doc Kim. Which one was he? I'm trying to think. I don't know. A lot of those guys got out that had life sentences. Um, Biden let a lot of people out. The electric pen or whatever. He did. Matter of fact, one of my friends was supposed to call yesterday. He did. I was somewhere else. He was supposed to call, and he was freaking out that they weren't going to let him out tomorrow. He gets out tomorrow because of the electric pen. They were telling him that I was on the news that they're gonna not honor all those not pardons, clemency petitions that Biden did. Pretty funny. I mean, he was freaking out about it. Poor bastard. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me see if I can hear something. Let me see this real quick. I did a show with this guy. What the hell's this? I did a show with him, I think, on what the hell am I seeing here? Okay, I'm sorry. People that write him and I missed it as I have my phone shut off 90% of the time. What was it? All right, so let me see if I can find this. Yeah. Hold on. I need to do this for a second, you guys, because this is when Benny Giratano calls. I want to make sure I got this. Giratano calls. I want to make sure I got this. So, okay, there's some people that push back on me on that. Hell, the cops were saying that. Oh shit. No. So I can't hear it. Oh, I remember. Well, I don't know if you were there yet, but when I was over, shit. Oh man, I gotta get okay. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. I just thought about that. I just thought about that last second. How am I gonna get Benny's sound? I don't know, but he's gonna be calling soon. Okay, let me go back to this. Doc Kim, I really want to know who Doc Kim because I remember the name. I just can't picture the face. Is Sac big in Idaho? I don't think so. No. Hinckley was at Butner. That's right, Mark. You're right. Best jail in America was in Mayberry with Sheriff Andy Taylor. Nice. Ruby Tuesday. Thank you. Smash the like button. Shout out and respect, bro. What do you think Carmine would say to you if you could see him now? Uh, huh. What? He would be very, very, very disappointed. He would be very disappointed. Okay. Straight up. Yeah. What would he say? I don't know about saying. And he would tell me not to use if I'm going to talk about people, mob guys, not to use the word mafia. He would say that probably. Um, yeah, of course he wouldn't like that stuff. You'd probably see some humor in some of it, but that's not what it is. It would be about me getting out and fucking up like I did. That's what he. Yeah, yeah, because he called it. He called. He was there when I. Damn, I don't want to get into all. He was there when I met uh, my former wife. So he was a part of all that. Like he was gonna put her in a limo and bring her over, like a lot of stuff. So he said within a month of us meeting each other, you're gonna end up marrying that girl. I swear to God. I swear to God. So he was a big fan of hers. But yeah, so that would be, forget the mob and the YouTube shit. Forget all that. That's where he would be at. That's where he would be. He was tickled to death when he found out that I got married. Even in the joint, like I did. But anyway, shout out and respect. But thanks, Zach. No hooch. Cut up all the fruit you can't eat and freeze it. Get big tubs of vanilla, yogurt, ice cream cubes. Wow, that's actually a really good idea, Figs. Wow. Okay. Okay. So Rob, I did a cross bucket. Okay. So I was going to run it out. I was going to just let the condensation drip out and do the stinger. What did I do with my stinger? I made a stinger. Um, oh, it's probably in the freaking trash pile out there with everything else. Um, but that's the way I did it. Yeah, I think Randy used to double bag it. Let me see. So this is what he put: cook the wine off, but do it using a bucket, a plastic bag, a stinger, and a light socket. So, okay, Randy would blow. That's one of my old former bros. Randy would blow himself up at least once a week doing that. Him and his celly, excuse me, from West Virginia, talking about Gary White of the White family. Maybe I don't know. And Pickett, remember that? Remember Pickett? Um, but yeah, so a stinger is a heating element. It's just a cord. Um, you drop it in the hooch, and then the way I did it was I tied the bag off to a hose, boom, and then went that way, and then wet the bag. Da 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 da. Took way too long. I double did it too. I double did it. Probably had a lot of ethanol in it. Probably some blind people running around right now that I don't know about yet. Um, yeah, yeah. Doc Kim lived with old man Bernie on the first floor, both from DC. Oh man, I just can't think of who it was. I was actually wondering about Bernie. I got that mixed up. Did you ever meet any mob guys from Chicago? Justin, Little Nick, what's up? Tony Calabrese. Um, what was the old guys in the hospital? Like the big boss guys from Chicago, which I don't know nothing about. There were some there in 2007 and 8. Actually, uh 11 and 12 too. Yeah, I forgot which ones. But yeah, so Tony Calabrese I knew really, really good. Yeah. Okay. Yep, it was Gary White. Forgot his name till now. Young kid had a big time. Rob, what he did was he had 7 years. So Lucas is the one. Dave Lucas had the 30 for getting tricked off for a girl. Robbed the bank for the girl, I think, or whatever. The stripper that was married. Poor Dave Lucas. Um, Gary White and his cousin just decided to burn a FEMA trailer. Just come on, y'all, let's get drunk and take some pills and burn a FEMA trailer. Just just like out on a Friday night. And how did it work? I think. Wait a minute. They had footprints from the trailer. Okay, there was 2 trailers if I remember, because he was my celly for a couple days, a couple weeks, whatever. I think there was 2 trailers. They were staying in one. They just burned the other one down, and then they like left their belongings in the abandoned trailer. And then they like had footprints all the way back to their house. Yeah, it was crazy, and they got it 7 years for it. And remember when he got his cross? He had a no, he had an anchor. It was Odinist. Was it an anchor or a cross? I think it was an anchor. But I was reading what it meant, and it said that it represented the phallus. Okay, whatever he got, it was something to do. So I'm like, dude, you got a dick on your face. And little did I know at the time, Randy, Rob, did you get a tattoo? Did we talk about this? I think if you got a tattoo from Randy, you got a penis on you. Every tattoo he did, little penis head. Even Gary's face, just a shadow of it. But Gary was sick when I said that. But I'll never forget Gary White. And I told this story a couple times now. From West Virginia, dropped out. Dropped out in the second grade from school. Okay, he didn't know how to read or write. And his dad wrote him the letter on a booking slip from county jail. And he gets a letter, which he never got. Mail comes to the door. I give it to him. He kind of like looks down. He's looking at it. And he said it's something like, I think it's from my father, something to that. I figured out right then he couldn't read or write. And I'm like, don't be embarrassed about it. Here, I'll just give it to me. You want me to read it to you? Yeah, okay. So, yeah, a lot was going through my mind right then too, because I did miss. I knew he was, I'm not going to say that was. I knew he was West Virginia'd out a little bit, is what I was going to say. I knew he was, countrified, hillbilly, West Virginia, for sure. Even spoke Hillbonics, like Wilbur. Rob knows Wilbur. Anyway, I opened the letter, and it is on a booking sheet from jail. His dad's locked up. I think it was Pills. And it said, you can go back and look at the old recordings I've said about this. I think there was a video I did early on about it. I of you, son. The I wasn't an I, it was an O. Okay. So the dad didn't know how to read or write really either. I of, so the of, it was like UV. I of, I think it was just a U, SUN. I of you, son. And then it goes on, all misspellings, but like I had to decipher it. I felt like I was on Ancient Aliens, and like trying to put the pieces together. What do they call those people? But I was like proud for figuring it out, And it said, okay, I of you, son. Do you remember the time that we went, was it up on the hill or up on the mountain, and ate all them pills? Boy, we sure had fun. Was it get drunk and have pills? Damn, man. If I wasn't tired right now, I would have it down because it was like etched in my brain. Do you remember the time we went? Was it to somebody? Damn. And took all those pills. Boy, we sure had fun. I of you, son. That was the letter. And when I'm reading it, first of all, I'm like, okay, and he's just smiling. He goes, yeah, we had a good time. Hair on fire, head on fire. It was crazy, man. I'm like, wow. All right. Yeah, it was Gary. I forgot his name. So Randy did most of my sleeve. Randy was at peace with a tattoo gun. You should get a fan and show how to make a tattoo gun out of a fan. There is no Rob. You've definitely got a penis on your arm. You 100% have a penis somewhere. I promise you. I promise you. That was his signature. That's what he did. You're gonna go. Oh man, he did. I swear. I don't remember. There's like he never did a tattoo without putting one on. I do regret not having him blast my back. I just hated being tattooed, man. I still got my tramp stamp. I'm still rocking my 1992, no, 95. 95 I got in Chino. San Pedro. It's only like this big on my back. Rocked it through the feds. Never intended to, but I didn't care, whatever. Still don't care. But he had that scene down. He was going to do the whole ocean scene. I was going to do Neptune is what I was going to do. Looking up from under the water with two little mermaids or whatever, merfish sitting on his throne. And it was going to be like his pitchfork. And yeah, like somebody surfing the wave at the top. It was badass. He drew it up. It was bad, but it was going to take a long time. And I cannot stand being drilled. I hate being tattooed. I can't stand it. Period. Yeah, but he was awesome. He was out for like 3 days. Robbed another bank, got another 25 years. Uh, where was you at in Chino, Big John? I was in Madrone Hall, so I was at Central. Here's what happened. I got busted in Catalina Island in 1990, 89. Okay, that was my first bust, bringing drugs to Catalina. I did a video about it. So I went through Long Beach Courthouse. I'm 55. There was a guy named Judge Gordon. I'll never forget because I, the union, I think the union actually got my attorney. My dad was a big union guy. So I got an attorney that knew him. Um, they were literally calling each other Ted. My lawyer was Ted Vaganis, and I think Michael. I forgot. They're like first name based in the courtroom. I got for nine was nine. I got 1 year LA County jail with the 4 year joint suspension. That's what I got on my first drug bust. Okay. Now, um, I did 60 something days, 63 days in LA County jail on that year sentence. The way that worked is catch this. Okay. This is a good one. The judge decides to give me a year in LA County jail. They were doing 9 months or 7 months, 2 days, or 9 months, 2 days at that time. But the judge said, we'll bring him back for a supplement report to see how he's doing. I had no idea what that even meant. It was a gimmick to get me out quicker. So what happens is I do like 30 days in LA County jail. I go to Biscaloo, then Wayside. Yeah, Biscaloo. So I had to go to court. Wait, so I went to LA. I was inside the main jail. Then I went to Biscaloo, Wayside, then back to court. The judge gives me time credit. How did it work out? 6 months time credit, I think, is what he did. So whatever the deal was, I did 63 days. Okay. And then I got out and I never passed one urine test. So I was in the Long Beach courthouse. I mean, and yeah, that's where the probation department was. And it was my fourth cocaine dirty. And it was Bernstein was my PO. And there was a bunch of people there, and he says, "You tell me the truth right now." And he goes, "You won't go to jail. You lie to me again, you're going to jail." And I'm asking for all 4 years. Was this cocaine yours? No, it was my asthma medication. Okay. He gets on the phone. He calls up. Boom. Blah blah blah. We got one coming up. They just ran the chain to the main jail, so I missed the last bus. He did not want to keep me in the courthouse overnight. I don't even know if they did keep people there. Whatever. Again, it's a long time ago. This summer 93, 90, the end of 90s, actually, the winter. Um, August, September, October. It was October, actually. So he said, "Stay at home. You're going to have a court date." I stayed for 2 months. And then I moved in Lomita down the street by the school, by the Lomita Elementary School or whatever. And then I moved to Arkansas on the run. Then in Arkansas, I got busted. And when I got busted in Arkansas, we ran the time concurrent. Okay. That's how it worked out. Well, my California time overrode the Arkansas time. So when I got out of Arkansas, I still had time to do in California. Nobody thought they were going to extradite me. Swear to God, nobody did. Matter of fact, Arkansas didn't want to without a governor's warrant, and I fought extradition. So eventually, it took them 5 years to come get me. 5 years before the governor signed the warrant. I went to prison in Arkansas. I got out. I went back on a parole violation, which I was actually totally innocent of. I got back out. I was out for 5 months or something. Yeah, 5 months, 20 days. And then they got a governor's warrant. California finally got a governor's warrant after all that time. So they flew me to Chino. Okay. What's the airport right there? I can't think of it. You know what I'm talking about. So they flew me to Chino, came and got me to Arkansas, flew me out there. And they brought me straight to Madrone Hall. Okay. So normally that was a violator's yard. You're supposed to stay there. The average stay there was about 4 to 7 days. Okay. I was in 636, I think. Yeah, 636. I stayed there the whole time. 7 months I stayed in there. Well, what happened was My paperwork was so messed up because of the Arkansas and the concurrent time shit. So, and then the feds actually came in. The feds actually came and tried to question me over a drug case. Yeah, they did. So they actually brought me out twice. But I'm thinking out loud. So what ends up happening is the feds try to pull me out twice to talk to me. I wouldn't talk to them. Then they fingerprinted me. What is this? They fingerprinted me. They had to re-fingerprint me, probably for the feds. I don't remember. I think that's what it was. And then they brought me in and they were like, explain to us exactly what happened with your case. Because California was pissed that the courts in Arkansas were not sending me back without a governor's warrant. Somebody in California had filed that I escaped from the California Department of Corrections. So like if I busted out of prison, that's where the big F up was. So I stayed 7 months in Madrone Hall. And then I was actually level 2. They sent me to Chino minimum. So I went to Camp Snoopy or whatever. Actually, it was Wayside. I think Wayside up at top, they called that Camp Snoopy. I forgot, whatever. It's been a long time. But that's where I ended up going. Then I went to CIM, Chino Institution for Men, and I was in Madrone there, Redwood. I think it was Redwood. That prison was awesome at the time. It was huge, man. They've since, there was like two football fields, a baseball field, a soccer field. These are all individual. It was so big. They had patrol cars. They used to, like 2 cars that would patrol the track. It was huge. And I got there right when they shut the swimming pool down for the murders. That happened, I think, in a lot of the California, but they just closed the freaking pool down. And that pool used to have underwater welding and all that stuff. They had good programs at Chino at that time. But California time was totally different than Arkansas time. Even in CIM or whatever, I tell everybody this. California, the difference was Arkansas was on a bunch of homosexual shit for real. They were like booty. That was a whole that whole thing. Cummins and Calico at that time was just faggotry. That's what it was. That's what it was. Anyway, if you're homosexual, I don't mean I'm sorry. I have nothing against any of you. I swear I don't. I really don't. But it was just walking in the middle of freaking night to threesomes in the bathroom. Just faggotry. I'm sorry. So what happened? What was I saying? So I did time in Arkansas. And then why do I got this posted? I'm not about your penis, bro. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. Arkansas was all that weird stuff, and then California, everybody had their prison face on. That's what I tell people. It was like more serious, Everybody was more serious in California. That's what it was like. It's not that they weren't serious in Arkansas. It was just a different vibe, totally different. And it's changed. It changed after 1998 here, Anyway, okay, Sycamore. Oh yeah, Sycamore, Cypress, Sycamore. So that's where like they kept the brand and stuff. Wait a minute. Hold on. I was in Madrone. Palm Hall was the one. Yeah, Sycamore's across from why am I getting this fucked up? I was in Madrone the whole time. Sycamore was across from Madrone, right? I'm almost positive that it was. Yeah, Sycamore. You're right. Yeah. Central sucks. I've been to Madrone. 1999. Okay. Yeah, so it was back in like I said, I was there in 95. I don't know about Fletcher. I had Gordon. And like I said, he was bad, but I scored with the lawyer, because my lawyer, like they were tight. They were tight. I'll never forget. I was in my friend's wedding. My friend, blue collar guy, married a really, 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 really wealthy girl. Okay. I didn't last, but I was in that wedding, and I'll never forget. I'd already been busted, but I hadn't been sentenced. By the way, let me tell you. Let me tell that story first. And there was a guy that was a judge in Long Beach. I forgot who his name was, but I'm drinking at the bar with him, He was talking about my wife at the time. I had a really, really pretty wife. I always had it. That's why I don't have them anymore. Anyway, so yeah, this fucking judge was like a weird grease on my wife kind of judge. So and I said, yeah, I got in some trouble. He's like, who are you going for? And I said, Gordon. He said, oh, Gordon. He says, who's your attorney? He said, Vaganis. He goes, oh, did good there. You did good there. Ted Vaganis. Yeah. But Gordon was tough. But let me tell you what they did. My dad was a union guy. Okay, he was the president, business manager, local 802 in Wilmington. It's closed down now. But you know they had union pool, and I was going to be my dad. Okay, so that actually didn't disqualify me from being what I was supposed to be. That one conviction. It was the second one. It was running from my parole violation that actually did me in, because I was going to be a union leader. No bullshit. So damn, I just drew blank. Jesus Christ. What was I saying? So God, it's been a minute since I did that one. I mean, I just totally drew a blank. I was talking about Judge Gordon. Oh, I know what it was. So I get busted in Catalina. They send me over to Long Beach. Okay, go in front of Gordon. My attorney puts me in sober living, whatever you want to say, but you got to live in there. And it's like, if you're not working, you got to be in there reading NA books. You got to go to meetings. It was like 2 meetings a day. It was, it was a hardcore deal. Well, after being there probably 4 days, there was 18 people and myself. 17 of the guys bought cocaine from me. Yeah, I'm that guy. I was the bad apple that plugged the group. People would snort just little lines or whatever, but yeah, so I was bringing drugs and selling them in there. And the manager, so his name was Fred Brown, he owned these houses. Here's the first thing that happened. I'm supposed to be working. I'm not. I'm surfing and selling drugs. Really, that's what happened. I'm at Royal Palms, but the top of the beach, I know that whole cliff area like is gone now. It's crazy, by the way. I'm smoking a joint with somebody, with 5 guys. Everybody's got surfboards, and here comes Fred Brown. He's a jogger, jogs right by us, looks at me, comes back and goes, "Hey, aren't you in my such and such house?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Did I just see you take a hit of a joint?" Not me. Wasn't me. He says, "I think you did." He says, "I'm gonna make sure you get piss tested today. Make sure you tell the group what you did and why you're not at work." Well, it was 2 days later, whatever. Here comes the cops. Wow, they raid my area. No drugs. But Fred Brown went to court and tried to get me locked up, saying that he had all the information from the group, that I was selling drugs in there. Well, the judge, because my lawyer knew the dude for real, that's really what it was, said, we're going to my lawyer had already had an answer. Your Honor, we're going to put him in an outpatient program because he's got a job now that's guaranteed for such and such months, labor's union shit. And by the way, Your Honor, and he's getting married. Told me and my wife we had to get married. I didn't plan on marrying her. Well, it's not that I wouldn't have, but whatever. It rushed things, okay? So, and the honeymoon baby was my second daughter, by the way, from that. I'm in outpatient at Kaiser Hospital in Carson. And I got caught screwing a girl in the parking lot. And they kicked me out of there. Yeah. Right after I got married. We tried again to keep me out. Only this time the judge wasn't hearing it. And I'll never forget, he's told my family that what he sees is a career offender in the making. He said that. I'll never forget that. Thought about that after I got a life sentence for dope. Because I started too early. brand new Cherokee 911, blah, blah, blah. Got too much when I was a kid and I had the taste for it, and he didn't see it. He didn't believe it was going to change. He did say that. He absolutely said that. Yeah. Nail on the head, huh? I love Arkansas. Big John. I love Arkansas. Lived in Knoxville, Tennessee for a few years. 2 separate times I got extradited back to Cali for absconding. Absconding only. Fucking crazy. Dude, did you go airplane or did you have to go to that little van that takes you all over the place, which I never did? You were in South Dorm. Okay, I hear you. Swimming pool, underwater welling. Yep. Rob, what are your thoughts on Angel Gotti turning on all her friends and supporters for Jim Terry? Uh, Anthony, I literally have no idea. JT's the Jim Terry. Okay, I know that. I don't know anything about it. Like not one. I did a video about Gene Barillo and whatever I did. What was that, a week ago? After that video, I unsubbed from those channels. Not like I'll never watch them, just so they don't come up on my thing. I have not watched or even heard Angel Gotti's voice since I've been out of prison. All I know about Angel Gotti was that this dude Jim Terry was taking over or something. Now you're saying he turned on. I don't know. Wow. It hasn't. There's nothing that's really changed about it. I don't think. Robert, did you know Anthony Center much? Any stories on him? I've heard you talk about Testa a ton, but was Center a better character wise? So Mickey, okay, I've said multiple times about Testa what I've said that based on personal shit. Okay, the only thing I can honestly tell you about Anthony, and that has any negative light first, okay? Because I said it was that he was one of the Babanya brothers in prison. Okay, but having said that, there's a lot of good people that do dope in prison in life. Okay, say what you want. I have heard otherwise, nothing but good things about him, about Anthony, straight up. And people talk good things about Joey too, but no, really. And I'm going to tell you something else. When they got out, so speaking of mob guys, when Anthony and Joey got out, I saw some former cop on YouTube. He's got a YouTube saying that he believes that Anthony and Joey got out because they're cooperating with the feds. That's bullshit. They're under old law. I don't. They both had health issues. I'm not sure about Anthony. Joey for sure. Joey was on the 5th floor dying in Butner. He was gone. He made it back. Stage 4 throat cancer. Gone. 5th floor. Boom. Did it. He beat it. I do not believe that Joey and Anthony got out for turning evidence on a criminal case. Joey did get many, 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 many letters from staff members based on his friendship with them. Okay. But no, I have heard nothing but good about Anthony. Nothing but good, really, really. Just the running joke was that everybody knew he got high at Lompoc, but Carmine. That was kind of like the thing. Yeah. So, but nothing but good stuff for real. Doug, what's up, bro? Sometimes I go to the garden, cover myself in mud, and pretend to be a carrot. I can probably outdo you, and really even mean it. Robert, did you Anthony Center much? Any stores? You just okay. So that's okay. The Catalina episode, man, that sounded like a great time. Shit, it was. It was. Mickey Finn, thank you about being off paper. I really appreciate that. I do. That's a big effing deal, man. As Joe Biden, man, that's a big fucking deal. When Obamacare was signed. Um, yeah, yeah. And I'm gonna tell you this: being on probation was a trigger to me. Absolutely, absolutely. Do you want to get high today? Do you want to get high today? Do you want to get high today? Do you want to get it every night? Do you want to get high today? That's what the drug line said to me. Why aren't you high yet? What? You're not getting pissed tomorrow. That's what the drug line said to me. That's what it as I progress. That's what it did, really. Um, and it's not like that no more. And having to deal with counselors, which I wanted to go to counseling. I knew I needed counseling on so many different levels and still do on so many different levels. I know it. I never embraced it until I got out and I went and I stayed on. I didn't have to stay on for probation. I wanted to stay on. And then I learned more about counselors, and they're basing a lot of the stuff off these counselors that really weren't qualified. Um, and I mean, there was one that tried to help me. Don't get me wrong. I like her a lot. She told me I needed to get on Xanax pain pills. Like just get high. Go get high because they're going to put you in jail if you don't. She told me that. And the other one I'll never forget. Oh God, I can just see her in all her fatness right now, and I'm not skinny, but she just I'll never forget. I had a freaking meltdown for 55 minutes. I said a sentence. I didn't stop for 55 minutes. The sky was falling. Okay. And this girl looked at me and said, "So, would you like to try some breathing techniques?" Oh, I wanted to get a fucking case of Twinkies and stuff them down her fat face. I swear to God, I did. I was so, I was so, you're fired, fired. I went to my PO. She's fired. Can't just fire people. I want the strongest, toughest counselor because I'm serious. And I picked her. And they're just like, "You want her?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're just like, "We got you." The first thing I walked into her office, I said, "I chose you." She goes, "I know." And I said, "Well, I feel like I need to interview you." This is what I tell her. "I feel like I need to interview you before we start." She goes, "Okay." I said, "Can I be honest with you about everything?" And she goes, "Absolutely. That's what we're here for." And I said, "So if I were to tell you that I ended up getting high, you're going to keep that between us?" She goes, "No, that's part of the consequences." "Absolutely not." Dead, dead. Oh my God. You know what? Hold on. Hold on. Let's see if we can do this. I found it. I found it. I recorded this lady. Where's it at? 7/2/25. Oh, shit. Uh, I don't know which ones it is. I can't just punch random ones. I don't want. Hold on. Okay. I was trying to find this. I was trying to find. I recorded an actual session. I recorded hers. I wanted. I think I wanted. I forgot. I think it was something to do. I was going to tell my wife or show my wife or something. But anyway, what was I good enough? You said something about paper. Yeah, it was a lot. It was when I started falling and really having problems. It was a lot for me to be on paper. They did try to help. I'm not going to say that they did not. I'm at there. There was a problem with me and probation because I had a family member on probation. We had the same probation officer, and we had a big family fallout, and it was not good for me. They had the family member on probation for like 2 years, and she was aces. Okay. Um, well, she's off now. They didn't pay attention. But what I'm saying is when the stuff crumbled with me, uh it was my fault. I actually had the supervisor tell me that I destroyed my family, and he had no clue what he was talking about. And that really set a tone. He, um, he's human. He's human, and I'm really not angry towards it. I think the whole. I'll never forget the judge saying that we tried every tool in the toolbox, and I even said that. You know, and I even said when I got violated, look, I look in this room and I see people that have done nothing but try to help me, and I meant that. The 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 prosecutor, the defense attorney, the public defender, my PO, they did, even though they were well, even my lawyer thought I needed to go to prison. They were pissed when the judge didn't send me the first or second time, whatever it was. They were mad as hell. No bullshit. My PO even told me straight up. He was tired of me because that I was causing them too much time driving down here. Um, yeah, it was just I was a nightmare for him, for real. But um, there's something I'm going to end up doing the videos about this, and I say that because I've got them written down. Um, when the judge is saying that they've tried all the tools in the toolbox, but those tools are actually not really functional or broken, meaning the counselors they use like this one place where it's like notorious that they're people just show up there for a job and a lot of the counselors are fucked up. They're all high. So then they're basing the judge has to base decisions off the reports they write, you know? Um, but I mean, that's what else is there, I guess? What else is there? At the end of the day, it was my responsibility. I blew chunks. Um, yeah, for sure. Now, the only person I have to worry about or to not do bad things or to get it right is just for myself. No more probation, not in a relationship. And now just dealing with it's totally different. It's totally different and so much better. Thank you. Anthony. Jason makes you to it. Airplane both times with the leg break. Okay, John, when you're that's and so I'll tell you what else. They let me drink on the plane on the way to Arkansas. He let me buy 3 drinks, dude. Actually, no. The stewardess offered them. I think I paid. As long as I didn't get up and go take a leak, that was the condition. They put me on the back of the plane. I was the first one in, last one out, or vice versa. I forgot how it was now. Ontario. I went to Ontario. That's it. Ontario Airport. He let me drink 3 drinks, and but I couldn't get up, so I drank straight shots. Yeah, he was cool. He was cool. Going through an airport, it was a trip. With regular clothes, knowing that you're being, it was just one guy. I had the knee brace on too. Um, and he's like, "Look, I can cuff your handcuffs, but we're gonna get a lot more attention if we take them off. All the bitches will look." That's what he said. He was like using me for the props, so girls. Yeah, for real. That's what he was doing. He was cool. He was cool as fuck. He really was. Right on, Doug. Right on. Jojo Selly. Who the hell was Jojo Selly? No, Jojo had. Didn't Jojo have like an older Italian guy, Selly? That was kind of a nut job. Why do I think that? I can see his face. I can hear his voice. I think he had like 10 years for something, but I don't remember his name. I want to say he was from Jersey. I can't. Right on, Doug. First time back in the night, long bit. Yeah, I haven't done lives like this too. Told you it's much easier when you're not on paper. Absolutely, absolutely. And if I make bad decisions, it's easier to put the brakes on it, not having to deal with all the other fucking bullshit. Straight up, straight up. It's all about what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with your life, Rob? Who you hurt and da 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 da. You know what I mean? It's the voice in my head. It's totally, totally different. So much better. So much better. Hey, I'm okay. I'm an ex Babani brother myself. Good to hear. Thanks for right on, Mikey. Right on, bro. It's like you just want to break all the rules as soon as you're free or something. Don't you need okay, wait. It's like you just want to break all the rules as soon as you're free of something. You don't need it. No more weird. Right on. I hear you. Yeah. Um, Twinkies, because I'm talking about right on. Let me just finish this real quick. That Benny call you got, I tried listening to it. I know, man. I know that Benny. So when Benny calls, what I hear is static. Okay. I did remember something though. I did remember something a couple days ago. When he called before, that was the reason I got this microphone. As a matter of fact, she actually put, I think, the microphone on my phone, and I did like this. I've got to try that. I've got to do something because there's paperwork coming. Okay, mob drama. There's paperwork coming on such and such and such and such and such and such, and he's going to be wanting to go do his thing about it. So I've got to get that done. And I think I even have a little microphone. Yeah. You know what? By the way, if anybody knows, when I was going to film that short earlier, my phone was going from color, like normal color of the video, and black and white. Why would it do that? What was I doing wrong? But then I used the regular um, photo thing app, like the regular one on your phone, and then I uploaded it to YouTube like it was a regular video, but it was a short. That's when I got it right. But when I do it through YouTube, halfway in the middle of my short, it's turning black and white, and I don't understand why. What's going on in the news tonight with David Muir full broadcast? David Muir, another fine young fellow gentleman with the husband. Okay, yeah, the road is fucking clearly better this time being free, Rob. Little rough on the first leg of being free again, but not looking. But looking good, man. Thanks. Yeah, yeah. Big John, they let you drink. Right on. I was allowed to dip, but I wasn't allowed to spit. Wow. Wow. By the way, chewing tobacco. Second day. Second day. Right now I have I started to get a sore on my lip inside, and it was too much. I was doing too much. And you know, financial situation was like, yay, it's like, babe. So it's just fucking me. Okay, Twinkies down her throat. They let you drink. So yeah, they let me drink on the plane, and I got to drink on probation for a while, and then they stopped it. He celled with Ed, then he got sick. Okay, Jojo Russo, former capo of the Colombo crime family. He celled with Ed. Then when he got sick, Mikey moved in with him to take care of him. Though his name was Mikey Senda. Okay, I'm not sure. You're not. No, I am not. I'm not. She divorced me when I went in. Um, okay, yeah, what you did put cell up to it lid. I'm not sure which. Okay, I like so Rob. Yeah, you got it. Okay, Doug. I was a little bit okay. But Mikey, no. When I went back on my violation, she divorced me. Um, I was gonna laugh. It's not funny because she got a sign. I was thinking about that. But anyway, um, but I'm gonna say this. Um, she came down here after I got out, and and forgave me so I can forgive myself, which was an awesome. It was a really big and powerful thing for her to do. It was awesome. It was awesome. Our lives are totally uh, it's totally separate all the way. So there's no more. There's no more. But it's okay. Like I said, um, she's a good person, good girl. Yeah. Anyway, okay. No one from Pacific Northwest. What about you? Name like yours, scream South Boston. Will you ever hear from Marta again? Randy Savage. Uh, I We did. We spent a lot of time. We were spending time together. We were spending quite a bit of time together. Um, it's possible not, and that's okay. Okay. That's what I'll say about that right now. By the way, so fuck, I don't want to do this tonight. I want to put now I want to dip. It just made me right now that second I was like, do I have a pouch to chew somewhere? Um there's I really, really, really want to talk about the month of June, all of it, which actually went into July some. I do. There's there's two reasons I can't. Um oh fuck. And it's there's shit. Yeah. How do I do? I don't know. What are you saying though? Hold on. I knew a guy from Pinnis named okay. I hate my sister. what? What did you say? Okay, well, hold on. You just threw me off. Benny's to the cell phone up. Benny's calls to the cell phone up to the mic or something better. I got you. Much love from Dublin, Ireland. Calling. Oh, but I hate my sister. Okay. Um. Uh, Randy. Um. What was the day? Hold on. I'll tell you. Right now. See something real quick. Let me see something real quick. So that was Saturday, the 31st. Yeah. Um. Last time I saw her was the 31st of June, 31st of May, and then the 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 whole world changed since then. The whole world changed. Um, I think that she's in a really good place and at peace, and she needed that day. That's what I think. That's what I think. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna say about that now. Uh, yeah, great girl. She's gonna do well. Yeah, yeah, she is. Okay. Oh no, it's okay. Hey, look, this is what hey, Mikey, I don't have a problem with you saying that. Nothing really, honest to God. You said my channel helps you get through the day. That that uh that gets me a little bit right here, okay? Fuck. Um I got people that call me a lot that try to reach out to me actually and people are realizing I don't answer my phone anymore now. Um so people reach out to me for help for some reason suicide people a lot of them that are down. There's people I haven't got back to right now. I'm thinking of two people in particular, ladies that have kids in prison. And I don't want um people to get the impression that like um I got out, I'm fine, and everything's great. Okay, I'm not. I'm and I don't want them to get the people to get the impression that it's like I'm up to bullshit, or um, yeah. I said this, and I know this in my heart. I know it. I know that the place I need to be, really need to be in my life is embedded in AANA and apply for counselor, and I would probably get it pretty quick. I know that. It's I know that. Okay. Um, I have made decisions that have set that back, but there's also been other things. So, what you said as far as the help and get through, if I was feeding my mind, body, soul, good energy all the time, I would just be fucking like that would make my day. It hurts when I know that I haven't been doing I have not done the total right stuff. And see, this makes it worse when I do this. This makes it sound so blah 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 when there's really just a chain boom boom boom, and it makes more sense. But there's actually I can't. Want to hear about violence? What do you want to hear? What do you want to hear? Want to hear? Want to hear a message that I can give everybody? I didn't say this was a personal message. I did not say this was a personal message. Okay. I did not say, I talked to a lot of people from prison, in prison, have been to prison, and I talked to a lot of guys about relationships. Okay. Here's something I can tell you. um, whether you're going to go out with somebody or just have a one night stand. Okay. This is a conversation that I had. Make sure she's not married. Some people don't care. And if you're an ex-con, you make sure she's not married to a law enforcement officer. That's the message I want to get out tonight, people. That's going to make it just go. I already know people. Because he might come home and you might punch him out. You might. I don't know. I know somebody might. So, could be a bad thing. Could be a good thing. Whatever. Don't date cops' wife or former wives or soon to be or just whatever. That's one of the things that people should not do. That's what I can tell people. What up? That's good. I buzzed you. Keep yourself on the positive path, bro. Don't let that stuff get system. Oh fuck. Wow, Doug. Wow. Yeah, so look at on that note, on the family note, I got it's still nothing will ever be the same. Okay. But there's amends that I need to do with one person. Otherwise, you know, it's not like it was though. I'll say that. And that's the truth was, and this is getting really real right now. The truth is I wasn't a strong enough person when I got out of prison. I was not prepared for life. I wasn't. I got spit out. That's not an excuse because I know guys who've done well. But I will also say this. There's like 35 former prisoners on the guys that I did time with. I think they counted 35 on my Facebook. 5 of them have done good. 5 out of 30. I literally counted this one time. No relapse, no drug issues, no going back to crime. 5. Then I found out 2 of them were big ballers. So 3 of them. I don't know about the other 3. And that's fucked up. There's some that does bother me because I do want the hopeful stories that people got out with life sentences and everything's been and I know they're out there. I know those stories are out there, right? I didn't, one can argue, possibly still don't know how to live the normal life, like 9 to 5. And when I got out, I was given what really happened in retrospect is when my family gave me property, um, and I had a plan for real estate stuff that was sound, not just some pipe dream shit. But I didn't follow through on a lot of them because when I hit a bump in the road, I would melt down emotionally because I'm not stable, emotionally unstable due to incarceration, possibly at times. But I do believe most of it was alcohol, but for sure when I did meth And I just watched a video about this today. I didn't do it for 20 something years. And what I know now looking back on 2021 is it wasn't, it's not something I crave or want to do. It's not like that. It was, when I did it, it would take me like 3 days to kind of get steady again. Hell, I remember telling my wife, like, she had no idea I was doing, but I remember telling, just give me a day or two, give me a couple days or whatever, you know, because I was waiting for, because at one point I did meth every Thursday. Every Thursday I did 3 hits off a pipe. Every Thursday for like 8 months. No bullshit. And it was because of drug testing day. That was before I got in trouble. Drug testing day. And um, most of it was based on drug testing, yes. But what happened doing that is it threw me off balance inside. So I was dealing with like ideas about the real estate stuff, real issues with marriage. You know, look, and I'm not asking for any comps, so don't be negative to other people. This is what I want to say. I do believe that there's some really, really beneficial shit with prison pen pal relationships. I swear to God, I do. Me and Marta have talked about it, and we said on video, I think together, that it's not something that people should really get involved in because it was super, super hard too. Okay, but I was never more honest with another human being, and I'm really, I can probably even with Barbara too. That my second wife was a pen pal. I don't consider Marta a pen pal wife at all. Barbara for sure was 100%. But I kept it as 100 as I could without saying I'm getting high. I had the opportunity to tell her in prison. She didn't know this was a big thing. So I hid addiction. I have, I swear to God, right now, you guys, I swear to you, these books right here, prison journals. In every book, I talked about getting high, and it was going to be the last time, probably 60 times, the last time ever. And that when I get out, I'm not going to drink, smoke, do drugs, da da da. And I believed every bit of it. I believed every fucking bit of it. I swear I did. I swear to God, I never saw, I could never foresee what happened. Ever, ever. No way did I think, A, I'd go back to prison, B, that I'd be thinking criminal thoughts again, because in 23, I thought criminal thoughts for sure, that I would fail at a relationship like that, that I would blow the property I gave at a fucking casino, which ties into other stuff. Um, never, never, ever. No way, man. No way. But I do really believe that that well, the casino took me down financially, but the root. Well, fuck. I mean, it's hard because I drink like from the day I got home from prison, at least a beer a day. There were sometimes I'd just drink a beer. So I remember there was times I was like 9 days clean, no alcohol, and my wife called Chad Marks. Chad Marks was like trying to talk me out of drink. It was crazy. But I just, there's a sense of sadness about it for real. But I will say that I'm not going to say ever over it because I foresee myself with the sponsor someday going through the steps and having to deal with it all uh, come up. But yeah, I don't want to use the word over it. That's not true. I'm looking at things through a different lens for sure. I'm looking at things through a different lens. And I also, there's a, the bad stuff I've uh I've repeated some same fucking behavior issues, but at least I don't have to pay for them through a relationship or through prison or whatever. Um, but yeah. Anyway, I tried. I tried to get as close to the edge as I can. Let's see what you guys are saying. Okay. Listen, Doug, I did, but the truth is, yeah. Um, I guess one of the worst things really comes from chronic stress, changes your system. Sounds like the suffering. Oh, yeah, but I'm telling you, there's a meth angle for sure. Look, when I came home from prison this time and I saw the absolute destruction of meth, um, it's really hit. It helped, even though that situation's still sad that happened. It helped seeing it. And I have recently, in the last month, just seen a different situation that's blowed up to me like that whole meth thing. Meth, it just, I see a path of destruction. Uh, every time I watch a crime show and somebody does something horrible, they're on methamphetamine that just chopped everybody up, ate bodies, and raped everybody. I mean, they're all usually spun. So there's something psychological that stuff does bad. And so I was able to like look at that and bad energy. Put good energy in your body. Sounds like chronic stress. Mitch Smiley is the one I know that after doing a life sentence 3 years in the California State Prison. Oh, that's right, Big John. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yes. Doug, that's 100% right. Randy, that's 1 trillion% right. Hint. No, we don't talk. Mickey, you're asking some stuff tonight. That's okay though. That's okay. I don't I'm cool. Um yeah, we don't talk. uh yeah. So hopefully I came up with an idea for a book I've been toying with. Actually, I've done more on it in the last several weeks. That is really exposing me to me, like in answering questions and it's something that I needed to do. I need to do still, and I'm sure that I'll get in moments of regret again about certain things, but I've done stuff lately that's helped. Um, man, I can say it. Dagasta. I just saw Dagasta. Whoa, what was your biggest win at the casino? Oh, you fucking asshole. Oh, we're gonna do this right now. Oh God, I don't even say this right. Okay, all serious. $100,000 jackpot. $100,000 jackpot. I had 50,000 in the car when I went down there. I think I was about 3 to 5,000 into that 50 when I hit. $5 machines, slots. Actually, there's 15. Those were the handles. This was in Tunica, Mississippi, Lady Luck Casino. I forgot the type of machine. Three three spins. Wasn't Wild Duck or Lucky Duck. But they were $5 machines, but you can pull $15 at a time. And I played three machines. It was easy then. They didn't have these little partitions that they do now and all this other stuff. So it was easy to go boop, 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 plus fucking I was so spun. I was so spun. Oh my God. I mean, just rocketing. Um, I was able to walk away at times though. Then, $100,000, spent it all on $100 slot machines. I was playing two machines, I think, at a time. I think that the max spins were 300 or 500, whatever it was. But this is what I would do, just like that. That's how fast I'd play. So 15, 30, 45, 15, 30, 45, 300 or 500, 300, whatever, 1,000. Um, they talked about it. This was part of my trial, by the way, gambling. I was trying to claim that I was a legal gambler. And I literally set out to like, that's what I was going to be on paper anyway, drug dealer. And this is my money thing. Um, and I was gathering all the winnings. I had a bunch of winnings. Do you know right now? Do you know right this second? I have $200,000 worth of winning slips that were all spent back. It's probably like 14, 15 of them that I haven't filed taxes on yet because I've been incarcerated. I got to file. I got to deal with tax issues. Yeah, right now about 200. Um, on that one, back then I used to take the taxes out every time I hit. For whatever reason, when I got out and started this time, I didn't. I had that 50,000 in the car. I spent all that money and I had to borrow gas money from my mom. I had to call my mom, parents, whatever, mom at 3 a.m. from Tunica, Mississippi to wire me money to get home on gas. Yeah, that was the biggest um like that. Now, um I can tell you about being told by my probation officer that I had to go to rehab. By the way, my wife had no idea that I had popped dirty, not even once, and it was like the fifth one. Okay. Even though I can honestly say that I was messing with my drug test, and that's a whole different issue. That's a whole different issue. I was dirty. Forget it. Doesn't matter what I did. I was getting high, using, drinking, whatever. I had to go tell her while we're out to dinner. Oh, by the way, I'm going to rehab in a few hours. Oh, and by the way, I have this money here that I wanted a casino. Can you make sure you put it in the bank account tomorrow? Can you do that for me? Like I couldn't do that part, right? It was bad enough saying that I have to go to rehab for getting high. It was horrible. I go back to the casino. I made last call. We went to bed, whatever. I snuck out of the house like 1:40. Made last call, drank, and had 20. So I sold the house. Great decision. This was a methamphetamine decision. Okay. Let me tell you something about a meth decision. Your house is being sold for 129 and it's an escrow. It's got like 7 days. And a Christian lady pops up and says, "Oh, Rob, oh, hon, I want my friend to live here, but she's only got 64,000. Never mind that you're going to have 129 in 3 days, 4 days. My friend has 64 and wants to live. Hey, you know what? No problem. Just cut the check. Let's roll. Rock and roll." So I lost 60, 63, whatever. Got that money and ended up spending it in a casino in about 24 hours. That triggered me. I got cash from that 64 grand. I had to pay 1,500 to the fucking real estate thing too, because it was going through and it was crazy. I had to pay off my wife's car. It's a sore subject. I had to go pay it off. I went there with 12,000, 10,000 cash or whatever, and he just closed like 5 minutes early. The cash was a trigger and I didn't realize it. I had not had that kind of cash on me since I've been out of prison. As a matter of fact, I started to get into the credit card plastic world. 18 credit cards. That's what killed my credit. 18. Never had credit. Never had credit cards in my life. Never had a bank. I had like a bank. Yeah, I had a bank account because I got a hot check that my ex-wife, my first wife, I got a felony for it. It got situated. But anyway, so I had a bank account. I never had credit cards or nothing. But I went to go pay that, and that cash in my hand, and my friend called. A person that I just took 3 hits off a pipe. Was that on a Thursday? Hold on, let me think. No, it was the day before, I think it was. Oh no, no, oh shit. It wasn't just on Thursday. I did some. I got piss tested, whatever. I did some that day. I absolutely did. Because that's what happens when I did it. I'd get fucking just casino. Ding, 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 dumbass, dumbass, dumbass. And that's when I went to the casino and I hit a $4,000 jackpot. Lost 16,000. Had to go to the bank. 20,000 here, 40,000 there. Then my PO tells me I'm going to prison. I mean to a halfway house, and I had on me $28,000 out of 64,000. think I paid 10,000 or something in bills that I had, whatever. But I had 28,000 cash that I was going to hand the wife, but it wasn't working out. The dinner was horrible, it went bad. And I snuck out at 1:40 in the morning, go get a last call. I walk up to the blackjack table. By the way, I need to add here, from 64,000, I was all the way down to $300. With $300, I got back up to 28,000. Okay. My goal when I walked, this is what I told myself. This is what, was this a lie to me? Maybe. I said that the reason I'm going to the casino is I have this cash, $28,000. If I give it to my wife, she's going to have a fucking heart attack. I can't tell her. But I had to put it in the bank because there's mortgage payments, da 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 da. I'm going to rehab in a little while, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to take this money. I'm going to win some, and then I'm going to have them write a check to me. I'm going to go drop the check off in the night deposit thing. That was my whole plan of thinking. I walk up, last call, 2 shots, boom, boom. White Russian, tequila. White Russian and tequila. I think that's what it was. I'm almost positive. Walk up to the blackjack table, $5,000. Lost. $10,000. Lost. $5,000. Lost. $5,000. Lost. Ladies look, the look on that lady's face, I'll never ever forget it. She wanted me to fucking win so bad. She wanted me to win so bad, and we both know that it wasn't going to happen. When I lost the last hand and I was zeroed out, I couldn't even function. Like I like dropped my iPhone. Seriously. I was like, what, and yeah, I lost my iPhone. My phone was gone the whole time. They found it at the casino. And of course I got out of rehab and got some more money together and went back. Fucking place. Yeah, that's what happened. By the way, before I'm gonna get off her thing too. Um, my former wife had a video of me where she tracked me to the casino. She had no idea I was going to the casino either. Yeah, I started really, you know, I like to tell myself that I lied about my addiction issues. Well, that is part of it, but it started snowballing. She's got a video of me in the casino winning. I think it was $3,000, and they're there trying to pay me. I think that's. I'm not. The money. What? Win? What? I got dings. I got to pull the lever, man. I got to hear these dings. That's what it's about. It ain't about the money. Fuck, this money ain't shit. It's to stay in the game and hear the dings. It looked like I was on my hands and knees searching for crack rocks. That's how bad that video looked. I saw it and I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like I'm like way more respect for a crackhead than me in that video. No bullshit. And you would think I would learn. You think I would learn. Even after banning myself from all of them, right? Yeah. One day I'm gonna have it all right. It will all be good. Okay, right. Been great being here with y'all. I gotta hit the pillows with the guy. All right, Doug. I appreciate it. Addiction is a bitch, Rob. Don't beat yourself up, brother. I burn my life down more times than I can count. Thank you. The truth. What's up, bro? Huge fan. Thank you, Randy Savage. Didn't mean to ask too deep of questions, bro. Your channel is the shit, bro. Don't give up. You help me more than. Thank you. I appreciate it. Really, I do. We can all relate here, Rob. It's painful. Just never give up, as you never do. Thank you, John Barber. Man, I've lost so much money at casinos. One, I'm on a good one. Always think I can get it back. Yeah. I'm just, you know what, guys? Let me tell you. Again, all bullshit aside, because it's like almost, I really just want to go ahead and say some stuff because June, it really, for the ups and downs, it really did help. It was necessary. I keep saying that. I just crashed out again. I just crashed out again. Okay. I just crashed out again. Yeah. Uh, and I want to say crashed out casino. I want to say I can't believe it. That's not even true anymore. I can't even look at myself and say that. Like I can't even do it. Uh it's 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 fucking I just can't. My addictions always manifest somewhere somehow. But there's really good news in all that. Um a started with $40. Started with $40 that a friend gave me to drive him to a casino. And went really far up and really far down and really far up, really far down. No bullshit. Good news. I recognized the demons within me were alive and well starting on March the 31st. And I did things about it that were positive. Okay. For sure. For sure. Um, but I was on a trajectory where YouTube channels growth going up. Look, this channel's still small. I appreciate all the subs, everything. You gotta do YouTubers nowadays, really, no bullshit. You gotta do like videos every day, a couple times a day. You gotta like live it because there's so many and there's so many people putting out content, which shouldn't be a problem with me. Okay. Somebody wise told me that I was not able to wear two hats, so to speak. Not not wrong. Um, so what happens is I have set the trajectory of how I was going. And by the way, YouTube, I got some legal cases, some legal assistance work, just getting ready to do the website, getting ready to build the website for consulting. Um, this is all the end of May. Okay. So I actually listen to me. My cost of living, I've said this is like 13 to 1500 a month down here. Okay. It's cheap. Right. YouTube can pay my mortgage and a little bit more, whatever, just depends on the month. It depends on people cash it. Just depends, okay? So there's a trajectory. The legal stuff that really helped. I was able to actually put something in a savings account. And we're talking, dude, we're talking like $0 have, okay? So if I can put $1,000 and like sit there and not touch it, that's like a really good thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm broke, but I'm living. And I've been able to really look at that lately too, a lot different too. I have. So, but anyway, so then I go feed myself the bad energy, which is the casino. But there's good things happening, okay? Financially. We're at a point to where started thinking about bills to pay. I started thinking about a car to get. I started thinking about, yeah, yeah. We all know how that ended. We all know how that ended. Yeah, it was a uh the necessity and all that is is so much more because I just set back like 2 months of my life. Okay, so following through the legal cases will get me more legal assistance stuff. Okay, keep going on YouTube. The channel will grow more money. Okay, interviews coming up, by the way, which I'm counseling on. Supposed to go to Connecticut. There's like two. Okay, so anyway, that was supposed to be into June, but they changed it to July or August, and I do not foresee myself going right now. There's no way. But anyway, I was told by a couple different people um, that my comfort zone or the company I keep are all people that are addicts. Okay, and that basically that I couldn't be around so-called normal people. Okay, there's a couple things going on here. Um, Finances, when you're not financially stressed, okay, even if you make money not the right way, I'm talking about gambling. So if you make money gambling and you're actually putting money away and you can see it, you're not spending it, you're still eating rice and beans and some chocolate, whatever, you're doing this, but you have this money that was made real fast, okay? Like drug money, same, there's no difference. And then you find yourself around successful people, okay? You don't feel like a broke dick that lives down in Hartford, Arkansas that drives a fucked up car. Because I'm contemplating on what I'm going to get. You can say you're a YouTuber and do legal assistance and mean it. They don't know how much you're making or not, but there's some confidence there because you feel you can see. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Then that all goes away. And how do you feel then? My point is this: there is a false sense of confidence coming from finances that a person doesn't need to prove their self-worth or their worth to other human beings. I know that just got really, really, really deep. There's a lot that I've learned. There's a lot that I've learned. I've learned that A, I don't have fucking panic attacks in casinos. Why? None. Well, why do I when I go to a restaurant or to a Dollar General? Why? That I have to figure out. Um, I was almost going to figure it out and say, is it due to a lack of no, no. So, and let me say one more other thing about normal people, professional people, professionals, professionals. They're all fucked up too. They're all fucked up. They're all fucked. I don't give a damn whose heart you're working on. I don't give a damn what fucking who you're putting under an anesthesia. I don't care. They're all fucked up. Everybody is. So I feel good about myself that way too. That's way off. There's somebody laughing right now. There's somebody, well, that'll laugh tomorrow about that. Anyway, yeah, throwing all this little shit out here and not telling the whole fucking story, right? But they're again, can't do it all. Okay, we can relate. Rob, it's painful. I asked to be banned me, and they said they can't do it. Randy, the ban don't mean shit. Actually, they did take a jackpot from me back in before I went to prison. Um, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do. So here's what happened. I was asked to ban myself, probation, former wife. Okay. Looking at the video, I was okay with it. The crackhead video of me. Anyway, I banned myself for 1 year. Okay. 1 year goes by. I'm at a casino, I get hit up. The paper, there's a zero on it. Somebody put a zero on it. 10 years banned. And she might speak Spanish. Anyway, so I was banned for 10 years, really only a year. But they did. But the deal was back then, this is in 24, 23, 24. Um, if I wanted to pursue it, they can do, there's paperwork to fill out, but I had to go to jail. They had to call the police, and I got a misdemeanor charge for being in there. That would have ruined my supervised release. That's what happened. Um, yeah, that's what would happen. That's about it. I'm trying to think of anything else I cannot say. Did you guys catch the what did I do? Was it a short or video? Oh no, I talked about the horse the other night. I can't get this horse out of my head, man. This horse, in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about, last week, it wasn't even a week ago. I was coming back. And I'm driving. Oh, by the way, when it rains, it pours. Car down. No. Anyway, I'm driving back, middle of the night, this highway down here. It's dark, and all of a sudden, it's dark. Okay, now I can see really well at nighttime. I really need to raise my lights up. My lows are like fog lights, and my high beams are like regular. But I had it on low beam. Learned a lesson that night. So I can see in the distance, I'm looking, there's a car, and I'm not sure, is it a car? Is it stalled? What's going on? All of a sudden, I'm trying to like figure it out. Oh, my arm's out the window. I'm driving this way. It's hot, summertime. Air conditions down on the car too. And my central heating and air. Here, it's a different story. Driving, boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden, a lady, t-shirt like this on. Ah. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Was that like a ghost? Is that like, what just happened? My split second. Before I can even think, right there's a horse. Like almost hits my elbow. No bullshit. I immediately pull over, and the lady comes running, and she's like, "I'm sorry." I'm like, "What's going on?" She said, "Lady hit the horse down the road." I said, "What horse is this one?" I'm looking. I'm just like, "This one. It's a stallion. It's a stud horse. Beautiful horse." And the horse is kind of, I'm trying to process. Then I see over here, her husband, which is in their farm, has got 3, 4 horses corralled. So there was like five, I think 5 got out. Okay, their neighbor. Well, this girl driving this little Toyota fucking tin can was flying because everybody goes like it's like the autobahn. Yeah, the autobahn is what they call it in Germany or whatever. It's like the autobahn. It's go. How fast can your car go? The horses get out and she hits the horse. Bam, and the horse goes flying, lands, and takes off running. Well, I said, "How's the girl?" She said, "I think she's in shock, but the neighbor up there has her." Okay, it's up in a distance, a couple hundred yards. Yeah, 2 football fields, easy. So I look back at the horse. I yell at the husband, "Hey, do you need help?" He says, "I got to get the horse crowd," but they're on his side of the fence, and he's got his gate locked, so they're not going to get back out on the road. He's just got to get him from not running around on his property, or whatever, and try to get him in. He's got horses too. These people are horse people. So I say, "Look, I'm not afraid of horses. I can handle this." Okay. So he said, "There's a car coming," and he throws me this little light. I grab the light, stop the car, walk up close to the horse. I see blood running down the horse's nose. And I look more, and the horse doesn't have a freaking leg, a foot. When the horse was hit, it was hit. You guys know what the flank is? It's the back left side of the horse. It was hit on the, yeah. So she hit it this way. So it hits like the flank, right in like the leg and the stomach, like right here. There's the hair goes the opposite direction. That's called the flank. The car hit the flank, but the car hit the horse's foot, and it took off right where the hoof is, where the bends. Gone. White stub. All white stub. The hoof was hanging by fur and skin. So it's flopping around, but the horse ran 200 yards on 3 legs, and then got tired and it was resting on its bone, and it was hurting it. The blood's flying out the nose. And then I look, and then I see the intestines start coming out of the flank. Right where it hit, the car, I guess, probably the tire ran over the horse's foot and chopped the foot off. But the car somehow sliced the flank, right at the flank. Bam! Like sliced. Enough to where the horse was able to run, but after it kind of settled, then everything came out of it. The intestines came out of it. And the sight, I remember I just grabbed him, you know. I was like, my heart was broken. I was like stuck, but I was just like, this horse is like, fuck, I'm dying. Like this horse is like, dude, help, do something, you know. And I just grabbed him. And held on to him. You know, I had on a white shirt, fucking covered in blood. I'm just like, it's okay, buddy, it's okay. So I pull him to the side of the road, not seeing that the road goes down. So he fell. Okay. And then I grabbed the paint, which was the other horse that was wild as fuck. I, I locked that. Just get the rope on him. I just jumped on that one. And then all the cops showed up. There's like a bunch of cop cars. The lane was closed for a couple hours. And when they were like talking about, hey, you got a gun. The cop didn't want to use his service revolver to shoot the gun, so the guy was going in there to get the gun to kill the horse, which I was telling him to do like a long time ago. And the old lady who owns the horses comes with the tranquilizer, and they missed. They didn't register it right, man. And this horse, so all I can hear is this horse screaming out too, man. So it was like this horse was like in agony, man. It was crazy. It was crazy. Uh, and then it went stiff. Yeah. The worst scream I've heard of an animal was a baby deer. I'm a deer murderer with my vehicle. I've got four deers. A buck, 10-point buck, and then little ones. But the buck screwed my whole car up. But I was coming out of one of the mountain roads at 5 a.m. This is before I went back to jail. Right within a couple weeks before, it's just like December of 23. Yeah, I know it was because she was in Spain. My ex was in Spain. Came back drinking, drunk, probably on other shit too. I think it was. Oh, I think I did some fatty. I was fucked up, and I'm flying. There goes all the deer, and the little tiny one, the little newborn in the back, and boom, I hit it. I don't have my phone. I never bring my phone anywhere nowadays either. I hate these phones. I swear to God. Didn't have a phone, didn't have a light. So, but I can hear it. I can hear it rustling in the bushes. So I get out and I see it, and it's needs to be put out. So I grab a rock and I throw it. Boom! Like hits a piece of its ear. Ah! It's screaming even more. I get a bigger rock. Boom! Misses it. You know, just like the impression. Ah! It's like freaking out. Hit it again. Instead of like the side of the face. Ah! Now it's like breaking. Now I'm like breaking its jaw. And then the next throw, I hit its nose, and its nose came. That noise. I know this is graphic. That noise. Oh my God. Oh my God. And finally, then I just went and He-Man this big old boulder and just went. I couldn't stop it screaming, man. Yeah, that's what you get when you live out here. Waiting for a bear to eat me any day. Pigs, I've seen pig tonight. I was looking, I seen there's pig prints in the yard. I guess I better go, guys. Let me see. Let me answer a couple other things when I'm gone. I gotta be up here and shit, what time? 1:40. Shit. My mom will be here like it's calling about 7. Well said. Thank you. Whole smoking Carlos. No, wow. What? What is that handle you got going? So sad. Yeah, right on, bro. Right on, Pole Smoking Carlos. Wow. No chick. What? What is that handle? No chick zone Ricans. Huh. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm out. Take care. I don't. Well, I don't know. I can honestly say now I can probably do a live tomorrow and the next night and next night. Yeah. Anyway, take care.